was unexpected. I didn't exactly expect this to end with hope. I expected it to end with despair. Seeing that it ended with hope, I have to say, I like this very lot. This is the Boku no Hero Academia, chapter 181, and we are treated to a scene where Hound Dog reported to Ectoplasm that he had a scent of people. I guess that meant to include that when he is not snarling in anger, that professor has a nose for things, pun intended. Either way, he asked Ectoplasm to borrow some clones as they finally got to Gentle. Uh, Ectoplasm recognizes who he is and wonders, but he also sensed the sense of one of his students. As even though Deku was sent away, he immediately runs back because and Gentle decides and says that he flew over and he mentioned his narration that he was always lived for himself, but I'm glad I get to spend time with you, La Brava, or something like that. But he also mentions that his biggest crime is brainwashing of a girl who knew nothing of the world, and that meant La Brava. Of course, in a way, we don't really know if it's true, but Gentle did blame himself for making La Brava depend too much on him, and she can only cry tears of all of for everything that is happening. Uh, and the fact that she's saying that she never wanted to get into trouble, one wonders. If now La Brava is gonna be spared, isn't it a possibility though that she's gonna hold Deku accounted for what is happening? Maybe that's the despair. As Deku arrives back to the place, he is saying Gentle was gonna pull up prank, but it's all right now. We settled this. Uh, uh, as they report to the others that it wasn't an emergency, they will escort Gentle to the police station. But before Gentle goes away, he mentions to Deku that he was born out of the despair of hero dropouts, and it may not have been his place to say this, but I hope your feelings can reach others. Deku do have a way to actually resonate to other people's feelings through his determination alone. That's what makes him that kind of hero. So, yeah, it's true. Gentle was born out of the despair of a hero dropout, but he also says in his mind, maybe I feel regret because I wasn't persistent enough. Well, he did mess up a lot of things, and he messed up with that and that. So of course that would mentally break anyone. Uh, but then Deku finally realizes about the class about this and that. As the narrator, as the wonders where Deku is, the narrator that is Deku talks about born from the hero drops out. He yeah, he mentions that the reason why he thought that fight was tough was because he and Gentle had similar sentiments before he got his quirk and before he actually became this determined. Deku was also a boy drowning into the eternal pits of despair. So he fought for La Brava's sake, and he fought to make a girl smile, and for many others, one as well. Elsewhere, the dancing party begins at what is it, 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. As the curtains go up, we Miruyo pulls up Eri-chan. It's actually very cute when he does that. And as the music begins to play, Deku has successfully managed to get on stage. And Deku fought to see Eri smile. And indeed she smiles, with a very beautiful one, as she sees Deku on stage. He is sweaty, but he made it. I do not know how he made it, but he made it. And if you ask, unless of course that is Ectoplasm's clones, that is. I mean, wouldn't it be kind of ironic if it turns out that's Ectoplasm clones that's doing that and that for Deku? But if that's really him and he made it, then I am all too happy with that. It was about time this arc ended with at least a little bit of hope. Although technically I don't think it's over yet. If La Brava now is gonna be not prosecuted for Gentle's crimes, I wonder what she's gonna do. After all, she depended on Gentle for everything. She felt like he was not a liar. Is it a possibility she's gonna join the villain alliance just to take revenge on the world that took everything away from her? Wouldn't surprise me. But then we'll see. We'll see, won't we? Either way, for a conclusion of this one, it was actually a conclusion I for once liked very much. So, in a way, I'd say a very good chapter with some big emotion there. And I understand the despair of being born out of that and that. So I can finally sympathize with Gentle about that. But what is this next? No idea. You give me a thoughts if you have any.